All right. Think I am back. Oh my goodness. My goodness, my goodness. What? This is part 2. So if you missed the part 1, that was the previous one. So just go listen to that one. And this is part 2 that we're doing here. We're continuing our conversation. We're talking about the nominations of the Game Awards and Starfield being no show. We're kind of working in reverse here. What's up? But let me get we got the last super chat on there, so let's make sure I got 3 Mile Island. What are we doing here? That's right. Oh my goodness. My internet was going wild, Dan. It was switching between Wi-Fi and everything like that. So we're back, Grinds. Hit that like button. Get everybody back in here. The warmth of the fire. We're back in here now. My internet should be lit, and we can really get into this. Get into more of that stuff. That was a preface, a little appetizer for what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to get into this thing. I got 3 Mile Island. We got you. Okay, good. I'm going to shut this there. Thank you for the super chats and the other one, and I got those there. And I was shouting out the VIP grinders. No, there you go. Let's get these VIP grinders. Let's shout out them because that's what I was doing. The important people, the VIPs in the house. Herman Hall. Quality splits. It's about quantity, and it's a quantity VIPs. That's what I was doing. Then they shut me down. You can't shut me down. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. No. Thank you again, VIP Grinders. Shout out to you, and shout out to Ron M for gifting the VIP Grinders tonight. Shout out to everybody. The wall is a-growing. We might have to do a page 2. We might have to do a goddamn page 2. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Oh, baby. Here we are. We're back. Back in business. Back in business again.
Where's the lamb sauce?
The internet is working. Shout out to all the VIPs. Thank you again for all your support. Thank you for making the Gaming Grindhouse what it is today. And we're growing. We're growing. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you do. We're growing. We're on our way to 3,000 grinders. Let's do it. Let's do it by the end of this year. Let's do it, baby. But shout out to the VIPs and thank you again. True Virgil hanging in there. His qualities rubbing off a little bit. Rubbing off. But thank you again, grinders. Oh, baby. That's what I was doing when the thing shut me down. I was trying to shout out the fans. It's all about the fans. That's right. All about the fans. Get on in here. The burning of get in here. Quality flutes. Get on in here. It's Monday night. You know where you need to be. Kratos, what's up, man? So anyway, we were talking about the Starfield stuff and about the no-show and really about the nominations and everything. And craziness going on. Well, I'm going to get into the nominations. We're going to just jump up just a little bit and run down some of the other things. And let me just see if Discord... Oh, man, does my Discord down too? Hold on. Let me get my Discord back up in case Link wants to jump back in here. Because Discord shut down. Everything shut down. So, just kind of closing out. Well, just to leave the Game Awards just for a little bit. Will Phil... I think he's going to be having... We'll talk about predictions and stuff. Oh, damn. Let me make sure that this is working here. Discord... I don't see Discord working on my voice channel, man. Computers, man. Give me a friggin' headache. Voice mod should be open. Speakers there. There we go. All right. So that should be working. So my Discord should be working. There we go. Discord's working now. All right, good. We're back. That's right. That's right. But you know what? We're playing... We're playing quality flutes. Quality flutes. And remember last year, grinders, we had the flute. Give me those flutes in the chat, baby. Give me those friggin' flutes in the chat. We had the flute last year. Phil Spencer stepped out of the crowd. If you're new here, Phil Spencer last year stepped out of the crowd and went on stage and did an incredible piece because he had no games at the Game Awards last year. So Phil Spencer had to do his next best thing, and that is entertain his Philnatics, the Phyllis Philnatics, the Philly Philnatics. And here's his performance. Grinders, if you don't remember. Oh. Oh goodness. Where is he? Oh my goodness. We got the video exclusively here on the Gaming Grindhouse. The Phil Ness flute last year at the Game Awards. Will he be back? Phil Spencer, show us.
You're my #1 customer.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Spencer last year. Look at him go! Look at him go. Phil Ness and the flute. Look at him. Look at him. He jamming. He had no games to show, so he said, I'm going to entertain. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him go. Oh, Phil, music to my ears. Look at him. Whoa, he pulled out another flute. Look at him go. Phil Spencer was insane last year, dude. Look at him. Dude, he put on the wig. Everybody knew it was him. It was a bad kind of undercover boss act. We knew it. We knew it. We knew it. Phil Spencer tried to do undercover boss. He put on the wig. He went on stage, and he jammed out the flute. He jammed out the goddamn flute. We knew it. It was a bad undercover boss goddamn costume. I knew it. He put on a wig and says, "It's not me, guys. It's not Phil Spencer. Don't mind me." But there he goes. Oh my God, Phil friggin' Spencer. Look at him go. Jesus, Phil Spencer. He could do it all, man. He could do it all. Look. Oh my God. Phil, you're not fooling anybody, Phil, with that flute performance, Phil. You're not feeling it. He's going to pull the wig out again this year, everybody, and get on that stage. He is going to. Guaranteed. Phil is going to be rocking the town. He's like, goddamn Game Awards. Who gives a shit? I'm winning awards, bitch. I'm winning awards, and I'm going to play my flute. That's what he said. It's the quality flute. Look at him. Oh my, look at him go, man. He could give a shit about being Game of the Year. He could care less. Look at that. See, it makes sense now. Phil, enough with the performance. It makes sense. Because, like, the same person that says, look, if he just put this quote over Phil.
Just focused more on great games on our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of.
Right.
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way.
He's doing his real passion.
The worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation, where everybody built their digital library of games.
Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yes! 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 Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer!
Look at him go! Go, Phil, go! Go, Phil, go!
Yes! 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 Spencer! 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 Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yes! 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 Yes!
It's him, everybody. He's not fooling anybody. Don't give me that undercover boss goddamn bullshit right now. Look at him. Look at this. He don't give a shit about it. He don't care. He's like, who gives a shit? I'm playing the flute, bitch. He says, I won the Greenhouse Award. I'm winning awards. Who needs the Game Awards when you got the flute? And he just went on stage, put the wig on. He goes, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it. He went from this. See? He went from here. You know, he's like, shit, I got to go on stage. I'm going to put the wig on. Hope they don't see it's me with the flute. I'm going to go on stage. He went from there to here. See? That's what he did, Gray. He went from the flute. There he is. He's famous. Look. He went, there it is. That was him last year at the Game Awards. Who does it? Who?
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Activate. Holy Spirit, activate.
He's doing it again this year.
Activate.
Phil will be at the Game Awards, cares about great games. The flute will be there. He's there. He puts on the wig. He goes on stage. He does his thing. All right? A Gaming Grindhouse exclusive. He plays the one what's on Xbox. He don't care about great games. He said it. He said it.
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true.
Not true.
That if we go off and build
he ain't feeling no one on Nini. That's right. He don't feel no. We know it's Phil with a goddamn wig playing that flute.
We lost.
We know damn well that is Phil Spencer.
The two youths.
He's on cowbell this year.
What was that word?
3 Mile, I got your super chat. I'll read it again. I was reading it about David Jaffe, about talking about the Starfield and talking about that stuff. 3 Mile, I got it. I was reading it and I think I went offline. Hold on, let me get this thing here. My God, but this thing is all messed up. Phil's stepbrother. Don't fool us, Phil. You can't fool us this year. You're not fooling me this year, Phil. Wig Spencer. Wig Spencer. Oh, man. There it is. It's him. It's friggin' Phil Ness. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There is Phil Ness. Let me see. Did I get, yes, there he is, yeah. Did I get that? This one. Yeah, you said about the, oh, it went back to part 2 and added to this one? Oh, dude, I don't know what the hell YouTube did. It'll sort it out later. Oh, man. I don't know what the hell's going down. He got real hurt earlier today. Well, his picks got snubbed. Dude, listen. And I said this last night. The most important Game of the Year nomination is your own. What you enjoy. Goddamn smuggling greats Jeff Keighley's not going to tell anybody what to do. All right? Nobody made him official. But the thing is apparently that's what the industry, other people say that. Yo, what's up, Jay? Here's Jay. Yo, look at this. I got him. I got you. Let's bring him in. Kicking down the door. Let's see if I can bring him in. Yo, what's up, J-Dub? How you doing?
What's good, my brother? What's good? Hey, I was looking at the Discord and I didn't see it. I'm used to seeing people there, and I didn't see anything. I'm just like, let me just sit here and just wait on.
Dude, it went down. Like it like,
oh shit!
Yeah, the whole thing went down.
Did Phil Spencer pull a plug on you?
Yeah, I was showing pictures of him playing the flute last year. You saw the flute guy, Phil Spencer.
Yeah. That,
right? So he didn't like that. He didn't like. I blew his cover, so he didn't like that.
Man.
But man, yo, this thing's wildness. I saw that. We knew this internet stuff, but man, we knew that this Starfield. I was thinking about this whole snub thing. Like I was saying this before. Like in order to get snubbed, you have to be like part of that. Like you should be like winning other things and then going, oh, and they didn't do the Game of the Year. Like they got ignored the whole way up. Like Starfield really didn't make anything. Like we were just saying how forgotten it got. It was just forgotten.
Yep.
Craziness, right? Like seriously. Like, and I was just showing the thing before about how those acquisitions, dude, they did Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, and Diablo 4 is called as part of their nominations, and Forza here for innovation and accessibility and best sports racing game, which it's not going to win that. It's probably going to lose to Shrek. Goddamn kart racing game. Friggin' Forza. It was the worst Forza ever. Yeah,
so it is. It's the worst rated. It's just the worst Forza.
Yeah,
it had so many issues, which is crazy because that was such a main stable of quality games that they would normally output, and everything just. I don't want to blame Game Pass, but that's the only thing that I can do is just blame Game Pass for the direction that they decide to just go with.
I don't. Yeah, man. Like again, like you can't. They took their biggest franchises, and this is what I was saying about these, was like, it's going to take a lot for people to go Diablo Xbox or Diablo Microsoft. Like, Forza and Halo were staples and identities of this brand, and they chose to let those games just kind of rot out there. And it's going to take a lot of marketing and a lot of kind of persuasion to get people to realize, like, hey, Bethesda is a Xbox household name, and Call of Duty is an Xbox game. Like, you can't just buy something and slap your name on and go, now it's Xbox, and people are celebrating. Like, there's an identity with that. That's going to take time. Like, when you say Halo, you think Xbox. When you say Call of Duty, you don't think Xbox. They're going to have to make that happen, and that's going to take marketing. If they're going to put that money out there, it's going to have to take time.
It'll take some time,
Yeah. So, like, it just, I don't understand.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear it, but the Xbox name is just at this point it's just tarnished so bad where it's like anything associated with Xbox is fucking like it's just people run from it, and you take the one of the biggest shooters out there, and then you attach Xbox brand to it, and it just oh my god, it puts a salty taste in people's mouth, and then then you start having the fumbling of stuff. Then eventually people are gonna say, "See, yep, that's why we should have blocked the deal," because now look, Jim Ryan said the quality is gonna go down, the shitter and everything, and it's happening. This is the lowest rated Call of Duty in history, in decades.
Yeah,
and so it's like, yeah, you could say Microsoft technically didn't have a hand in it, but they've been working hand in hand with Blizzard Activision and Bobby Kotick for the last 2 years trying to get this deal done. There was a lot of direction going on. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like...
you know what? And what you're saying is the thing is that, maybe they didn't have a hand in it, but the thing is like they are now inheriting this problem. This is now the worst received Call of Duty. Now they're going to have to dig themselves out of this to try to make up next year if they can. And it's just like, it's just, they just, like the Grinch, man, they got the bad hand in everything that they touch. Like, they're just getting stuff when it's at its low, and then they got to use all their resourcing to try to get out of it. Like the grab assing over an Activision. Now this is the worst received Call of Duty. They couldn't, even Starfield, a game that he supposedly bought Bethesda for, didn't put him back on the map that they needed to be. Like, Starfield was talked about. Like, I don't think there's another game in Xbox's staple that they have right now, not even Fable or Hellblade, that has the level of hype of a Starfield. Yeah. The fact that Starfield didn't propel them to the next level and kind of just faded out and didn't even make the big award show. And I'm not even talking about just Game of the Year. It didn't even win. It didn't even get nominated for anything else, like narration, innovation, and it got nothing. It was a placeholder for RPG.
That's what happens. I hate to say it, but it's the Game Pass effect. People don't really find value in stuff that they can get for a couple of bucks. And it kind of shows that.
I know.
And who knows? Maybe even the devs were like, listen, we're owned by Microsoft now, and it's like, hey, it's going to be in Game Pass. That buys some time. We have years. We can fix it years down the line. So we're just going to throw this game out. And that's literally what they did. And you can't get mad at people for not being receptive of it. It's in a subscription service that can be easily had, but it is what it is,
I know. And now and you know what? This is another thing. As we're talking about Call of Duty, we're working our way up the board. I could care less. It's a crazy night. But I got J-Dub in here. My internet went down. We got the Mooch. Yo, what's up, Mooch? Mooch is in the chat. What's up, man? This Call of Duty stuff, and they were saying like the current players, and actually it's one of the not like Call of Duty sells, but this is one of the lower Call of Duties. And I was thinking, and actually I did a little bit of research. I want to get your opinion on this one. I looked up is Call of Duty going to Game Pass? And there are a whole bunch of Reddits and tweets and this, even the tweet from them in October to remind people that Call of Duty's not going into Game Pass. How many people are just saying, you know what, this Call of Duty is sus, like it's not, it's DLC, it's showing up with DLC. I'm just going to wait for it to come to Game Pass. And now that Game Pass effect has taken place on Call of Duty. There's no FOMO. There's no fear of missing. There's nothing. It's like this game is kind of questionable. Like, you know what? I'll just wait. I'll just wait for it to come to Game Pass. And now is that kind of like already there? Because that's the first thing everybody thought. Phil Spencer is going to put everything in Game Pass, and like, oh, this will come to Game Pass, and it's going to get worse. You know, like next year, the year after, everybody's just going to hold off on Xbox, thinking that I don't want to be screwed because JW, you know, the worst feeling in the world is that you just spent $7 in a game, and then a month or so later, after you didn't play it that much, waiting for updates and stuff, it shows up in a service that you're like.
I will say this. I would say that, but the only reason I'm not going to say that is because 99% of the Call of Duty fan base is on the PC and PlayStation, right? So the Xbox fan base has been brainwashed to only play games that are in the Game Pass. So, of course, majority of Xbox gamers are just going to sit there and wait for this game to come to Game Pass. So let's say January, February, March, it comes to Game Pass. Then they'll play it. Then they'll attempt to do it. But let's face it, the Call of Duty fan base now is and has always been on PlayStation and PC. So I don't think Xbox is. I think.
What do you think that the fact that it's just because it's just a bad game, like worst reviewed Call of Duty, people are just holding off on it, and there's no like must play stuff?
Well, it's too. It's a lot of people decided to skip this year, and they're just gonna keep doing what they've kind of did before. Oh, I'll just check out Warzone whenever the new maps come into Warzone. I'll just check that out because it's free. But I'm not gonna spend $70 for basically a glorified DLC.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I think that whole DLC thing really is egregious what they did with this one. And you know what? I said too, like I said last year that last year's Call of Duty was going to be the last great Call of Duty because now we're in the mud. And it wasn't if the deal went through or not, and it's not the fact that Microsoft owns them, but the fact that they were involved in an acquisition and the stalemate that happens. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what projects they can get greenlit. They don't know where their thing is. So they just mishmashed a bunch of stuff together and threw a $70 price tag on it. That's what happens when you're in limbo as to not knowing what the next like product, and you don't need to because they just paid out off the game. Like you don't need this game to blow up sales charts. You don't need it because they got their money from Microsoft. They got paid. They weren't trying to like think about the fight that Activision would have needed to make for this Call of Duty because they were coming off ass-grabbing, bad stuff going down with Bobby Kotick. They had to deal with all that over the year. They were coming off that Vanguard. Then they did Modern Warfare 3 to kind of fight back. And then now they would have been kind of in a struggle. Think about Activision as a company would have needed to really throw all resources at this. You think they could phone this in if they weren't under this kind of like umbrella of possibly getting purchased? Like they could phone it in. Yeah. Why? You're getting paid out. Like, Activision doesn't live or die now by Call of Duty because if Call of Duty's bad, guess what? We got Microsoft money to worry about that. Like, we don't need to our company is fine because our company don't exist anymore. It's basically under them.
Pretty much.
So what do we need to do now? And also, in that whole acquisition, what's going to happen? Those studios, and this is the other crazy thing. Jada, think about now these studios are going to have to start making the Switch versions of this game next year. If next year starts, and I don't know when it starts, but
I'll be honest. All of that shit was really. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
They promised them 10 years. When do those start, Jada? When they start?
Yeah.
Nintendo's sitting there going, 10 years, bitch. You told us. You promised us 10 years. What do you mean next year's not happening? We got a new Switch coming out. They better have that Call of Duty nice and polished, spit shined on that one for next year. They promised Nintendo. Phil Spencer, that dopey bastard with his friggin' pie chart, went around handing off those things like a friggin' Sizzler menu. He walked it around making people sign that ass. When's Nintendo getting there 10 years? When's it coming? Next year got to be the year one.
Mm-hmm.
So they're working on that Switch version right now.
I'm gonna be honest.
Listen, that Boosteroid is out there. Hey, yo, you promised us shit. Son of a bitch, where's my copy?
Well, this is the question I have.
All these promises.
Yeah, they made all these promises and did all this stuff, but they only have like 2.5 years to go before 2027 gets here, and they're closing up shop. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Either they're gonna have some drastic increase in subscriptions, or they're just gonna hold what they have and let that be that.
I don't know, man, but they made some promises. They made some deals with the devil. They were anybody who was breathing Goddamn, what was it called? It was called Boosteroid. Black Nuts got screwed. They didn't give them anything. Black Nuts, a proud viewer of the channel here, Black Nut Studios, Cloud Studios. I don't know if you heard of them, J-Dub, but they do exist, and they didn't get the 10-year deal. But they got shafted. Black Nuts got shafted.
Yeah.
The Boosteroid, like, everybody, Microsoft went around making promises like they were gonna take everybody to the prom, so they can't pull out now. Like, that Switch version better be coming. Bowser's gonna stomp on Phil's ass. He's like, yo, I was key in your acquisition talks. Where's my Call of Duty next year? So, right, it should be coming. And then don't give me no sob story.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's funny that this is the first year we got a sob story from Jason Schreier about the development of Call of Duty?
Mm-hmm.
And all the years of Call of Duty and how they just pumped them out every friggin' year. We never got a sad sob story, a campfire story about they were working this and didn't know what to put together in the campaign. Ooh, what is that? Is that Phil Spencer rubbing off on them already? We need sad stories about these games. Yep. Is that all of a sudden now? We got the first sob story.
You need sympathy. Yeah, you need sad story and sympathy to sell games.
Like, seriously? Like, we need a sad story. Oh, they didn't know what to do, and they put the things in these maps with DLC, and wham, bitch. You still put $70 on it, and we're supposed to expect to buy that shit. So cut it out. We don't need no sad stories. Goddamn, friggin', what's his name? What is that? Billy Ocean. Goddamn sad songs. There'll be sad songs to make you cry. Love songs often do. God damn, Jesus Ryan giving us the sad story of Call of Duty. Meanwhile, grab ass Kodak is grabbing ass and going on the golden parachute. They're still learning, Josh Ayers says. They're still learning. They're gonna take it on the chin. Let me get these 2 super chats here. Phil Smith's always taking it on the chin. The claim was with the 10, he goes, PSVR 2 sweeping the VR category nominations. I voted for GT7, but haven't tried Synapse. And thanks for the Synth Riders recommendation. It's fire. Dude, Synth Riders every friggin' day. I'm on that. Synth Riders is my shit. I played it all the time. Yep. Twisted Sync 2, with the 2, he goes, it didn't help with Baldur's Gate 3 releasing soon after. He's speaking about Starfield. Yeah, Starfield was sandwiched in between Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, and you got Empty Planets, Windmills,
Spider-Man,
and then Spider-Man. And then they said the true snub I felt was Hogwarts. And I think they just didn't want to touch it due to all the political trash on that stuff. Because that game was pretty celebrated. Like, it was always remind me of like the Resident Evil 8 type release, so Resident Evil 7, like that January, February window when everybody's clamoring for a new game, and Hogwarts hit. And the sound design and the environment, I'm surprised it didn't win in nominations. But that's, I think, is a true snub. But I don't know on that one. But this Call of Duty, like, this Game Pass effect, and they did this tweet, here it is. We see anticipation of building Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 as we continue to work on the approvals. While we don't have any plans to put Modern Warfare 3 or Diablo in Game Pass this year, oops, not good. Once the deal closes, we expect to start working with Xbox to bring our titles to more players around the world, and we anticipate that we will begin adding games to Game Pass sometime over the course of next year. Well, will that make you go run out and buy Call of Duty right now?
Nope.
I wouldn't. Like, it'll come to Game Pass when you fix it. When you fix it and you put new maps in there, then they'll fix it. So it already has happened, And honestly, like J-Dub said, the Call of Duty really hasn't been known with Xbox. They're gonna have to work on that, and it doesn't help. Just like with the Bethesda games. You made this acquisition, $7 billion. People are carrying Phil in the street like he's the Dalai Lama of gaming. And then Sony continues to release 2 exclusive games from Bethesda. And now Call of Duty is bundled with a PlayStation 5. And you're just like, what a kick in the nuts to Xbox. And I just don't understand how people are excited and happy when you see you can't even gain as a consumer the fruits of all that. You had to wait a year for Ghostwire. You had to wait a year for what the hell that other game was. What was that other game that was in there? That was Ghostwire Tokyo and what is the other
He goes Wild Tokyo and Deathloop. Yeah, Deathloop.
You had to wait a year after Bethesda was acquired by them. You still had to wait a year for exclusivity to be relinquished. And now Call of Duty, after 2 years of friggin' court documents and friggin' celebrating, going after the CMA and all this political trash, all this deal, hundreds of billions of dollars later, and you get to look at Call of Duty bundled with a brand new PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Like, how much abuse? How much abuse are you going to take and realize that? What is this for? What is this about? And then to see that all the clamoring if Starfield's going to be exclusive, this is the game that Phil signed for Bethesda. Remember how he fiddled around with exclusivity of Starfield for over a year?
Yep.
Legs crossed, being a Phil Ness, like, just like, oh, I don't know. Some will be, some won't. I don't know. And then he came out balls to the wall. Let Sarah Bond come out there and go, Starfield's an exclusive to Xbox. And after he clamored about bringing more games to everybody.
I'll be honest, Sony really dodged the bullet with that. And Redfall. Redfall. I mean, I'm glad. Yeah, so they really dodged the bullet with that.
Yeah, and 3 Mile Island, he goes, yeah, you don't have to do it again, 3 Mile, I'll read it again. Jaffe called, but thank you again, I appreciate it, 3 Mile. He goes, Jaffe called Starfield his favorite single-player game ever. No wonder Sony fired his ass. PlayStation. He created God of War, but didn't create Kratos. Charlie Wen did. No Charlie, no Kratos equals no God of War. Jaffe is a has-been, or never was. No, he is a has-been. Dude, he's a YouTuber now. With the connections, and he tried to make the whole thing.
You're my number one customer.
Make this whole thing that Sony, like, PlayStation isn't dying, it's trouble. Man, I was listening to, I don't know if it was a podcast or just Twitters and stuff. They really believed on the other side that, like, Sony is in trouble. Like, what world do they live in?
Listen, this is that delusional Xbox bubble.
Story?
Yo,
it's delusional, right? I don't get it.
It's that bubble, man. They live in their own world, in their own bubble, where last place is first place and first place is last place, and they just go with that. And you can't tell them anything. If a game is low rated trash, they'll call it game of the generation, or they'll call it something else. And this is why 2027 needs to hurry up and get here, so these people can get their walking papers and move on to something else.
Dude, I mean, that's why I said, like, this whole Activision thing and stuff like that. Like, people think just because Microsoft went into their wallets that they won, and then when they see like the Game Awards and they see what's selling and what's not, like, dude, I can't. But this is the thing: if you look at the sales of Xbox this generation, the Xbox One was a friggin' banger compared to what they're selling now with 2 consoles. A budget-friendly one for the kids and a real one that doesn't have the potential. 2 consoles at 2 different price points since day one for 3 years. And the Xbox One was the worst generation, Phil said. The worst generation to lose. Then what the hell do you call this generation if last generation was the one you lost?
Well, that generation is doing better than this generation right now, which is crazy to think. But it's the thing about it. The install base for this generation is so small. They could get rid of them and nobody would care. It wouldn't blink. The fan base doesn't, it's sitting at around 21 million consoles between the two. They're not buying games, so they're into a service that they,
30 million, J-Dub. I don't even think they're that close. I think they're around 28. Yeah, I don't even know. They even released a new S. That couldn't even propel them with Starfield. They released Starfield and a new S, the most popular console with more terabytes, and they still couldn't come in first place in June.
Well, and that's why and that's how consoles are going away.
Yeah,
the Xbox consoles are pretty much going away. They lose $100 to $200 on each one of those consoles. Would you keep making some shit where you're losing this much money and nobody is partaking, nobody's buying?
No.
So why? So why even do that, right? And all the developers are having tough time with even just porting games over to the console. So
I know.
I think it's just a wrap.
Like Baldur's Gate, like, oh, we found more RAM. It's like, dude, really? How much did they pay you to find more RAM? How much time is it taking you to develop for that thing? And then what is it gonna? And then I'm sure you're gonna spend all that time, release Baldur's Gate on the Xbox, and go watch it sell not a lot, and then
a handful of copies because they're gonna move on. Yeah, they're gonna move on. They don't care. With the Xbox dudes, if it's not in Game Pass day one, they move on. So why are you doing all now? Quick question: is Baldur's Gate in Game Pass? Or will it be separately? Where?
Dude.
Okay, if it's not, then why even spend all this energy and time?
Just
why even do that? Phil paid some money to finally port it, which is kind of like a waste of money to me. I don't know, but
I got the video here about how Phil talked about Game Pass. In this way, he talks about he doesn't anticipate sales. He just drops off the bag. That's what he says here. Let me just play it here.
I think is more of a testament to the work that the team has done on Game Pass than the number of, you asked the question about smaller teams. We sign a deal with them. I think about Game Pass as a content fund. Yeah. That we're creating revenue for us that we can then go put back in the market to go create a higher floor for teams when they're thinking about, okay, how is this going to sell? Because we don't gauge our Game Pass deals on how many units it sells or something. It's when the game goes in, here's the payment that you get. I also frankly, when those games ship on other platforms.
See? So that's what he does. He doesn't see how much their game sells. He just says, you put your game in Game Pass, I'm giving you a fixed amount of what I think it's worth in a Game Pass, and that's all you get. So if it does well, if it does poorly, it doesn't matter. The developers paid, Microsoft got the game in Game Pass, and it's a done deal. They could tout engagement numbers. But doesn't that seem like such a passive way of just as a developer, it's if your game does really well, it doesn't matter because you already got paid. He's not paying you any more money. There's no bonus extra if he gives you $10 million to put Baldur's Gate in Game Pass. Guess what? If Baldur's Gate becomes a huge Xbox hit, it doesn't matter to you. You got your $10 million. It doesn't matter. That's it.
So basically, devs just get their money and move on, and they don't care. There's no incentive.
There's no. That's what he just said. This was from his showcase in June. His night with Phil Spencer and the booty, and he just said we don't gauge how it's gonna sell. If Baldur's Gate's gonna sell millions on Xbox, I'm sure they anticipate what their game will sell, and that's kind of the money that they're asking Phil for. But once he pays them, they're done. You good.
You remove the incentive for developers to even make a good game,
right? Because they're getting paid up front, dude. They're getting paid up front. They could care less. They can care less how that game does in Game Pass because they got paid already.
But it's the point. Microsoft doesn't care if it's a good game or not. They just want content to throw in a Game Pass. They don't care. Which is why they greenlit fucking Redfall and just let it.
And what is the other game? A friggin' Bleeding Ass and Bleeding all that other trash. Yep. Just throw it in there. We don't care. Ground it and just throw everything in there. And, if it does what it does, it is what it is. It's such a passive way of games. You want somebody to think about subscription, sort of if your favorite football team, and I'm not talking about the Giants, they're horrible, but the thing is that if your team is going out there not to win and just going out there to just run drills, just to kind of, because they already get paid, they're getting paid, the football team got paid already, whether they show up, they show up to the show, and it doesn't matter if they get paid more to win or less. They don't care if they win or lose. They just want to go out there, they'll run some drills. Look at, perfect example. Look at the All-Star game. Look at the All-Star games, what they've turned into. They're not paying out there to compete. You're paying the same amount of money to go watch that All-Star game, but they already get paid regardless of that All-Star game, who wins or loses. And nobody watches it because there's no competition there.
Yeah.
So when you look at a game, it's hey, you want your game to sell. You're going to try to earn that customer's money. So you're going to have to market that game. You're going to have to show why this game is worth the asking price. That's a different approach than, hey, we're just putting in a service. We get paid up front. Good luck. Hopefully it does some numbers in there. It's good. Maybe you'll ask us next time. It's such a passive way, and it takes the directness from the developer to end user to us and puts dirty Microsoft in the middle of this subscription going we'll take it from here. in our service. And it takes the whole developer to consumer type thing where they're communicating with us to tell us why their product is worth money, and we'll give them money for product.
Yep.
I don't like that path. Like, I like having control of, like, you know, because I want them to incentivize us to say why their game's worth the damn. And you see it. A $70 product, just like how Sony markets their game. Spider-Man was marketed to show you why the hell that game was worth the money. And then you play it, and you see why it's worth even 2 times that thing. That game is absolutely incredible. I just beat it to Spider-Man, and holy crap. No spoilers, but that is a must-play friggin' game. And as I was playing it, J-Dub, let me tell you this. As I was playing it, I was going, imagine getting this game bundled with a new PlayStation when you get your PlayStation 5. Like, people just getting a PlayStation 5 and getting this game bundled for $4.99. Incredible. The smiles on people to play this game, Spider-Man. I can't believe that they're bundling it with a PlayStation. Imagine getting that and you don't have a PlayStation. This is your first one, and getting and playing that game.
Kids, adults, anybody, this holiday season, this Christmas, that when they open up those boxes, they're gonna see Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales and Venom on the cover of the box. That's just gonna blow their minds. And then when they hook it up, it's such an excellent game. It's a goatee.
Holy shit, yeah.
What better way to be introduced to PlayStation?
Exactly. Like, we got Astrobot, right? We were playing Astrobot, dude.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, if you do the same with Xbox, right? You open up that console and then all you see is a fucking Game Pass 30-day coupon. How is that really going to resonate? I mean, I'm just saying, how is that going to resonate?
Yeah, it's going to be like, yeah, exactly. What do I play? I just bought you the console. I don't know. I got all these games. What do I play? I don't know. Play something. Yeah. That's what you get as Xbox Christmas morning.
Then you realize none of the games are good. So, you know,
dude, I'm telling you, I went through the Game Pass catalog, and I'm just like, oh, they're so, like, all the games that you would want to play are so old. It's like Gears 4, Halo Master Chief Collection. It's like when the games used to be good. And what it does, it grinds my gears seeing that stuff, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, these games, when it used to be good, that's the only games worth a damn in goddamn Starfield and Game Pass. You may get some games here or there, like a Juzuint or whatever that is, and a little indie game here or there, but the big games where you're like, oh, damn, I'm getting this in Game Pass? Wow, what a deal. It's all the old stuff. That's what it is, dude. It's all the old shit. Like, that's the stuff, and it kind of just makes you think like the past days. Like, that's the good stuff. That's when shit wasn't part of Game Pass. Ever since they put stuff in Game Pass, everything has a hook. Everything has a, we're sorry, did they fix it yet? Redfall, did they add the frames? You're renting a backlog, Ryan. Exactly. A classic. They may as well just call them Xbox Classics and just put them in there for free with Xbox Live, because that's it.
Yeah.
What's up, Iggy? How you doing, man? But Spider-Man, I just thought about getting that bundled. Holy crap. Like, playing that game, like, they took, like, it was non-stop. Every fight that I had, I thought, Astrobot was amazing. Yes, that was an incredible, demonstration of the controller, too. But the fact that when I played Spider-Man, everything I thought was the final fight, it did not stop. And the way they layered that game with the different enemies and the way they introduced characters and things like that, absolutely insane. Like, they didn't pull any kind of tropes where it's like, oh, we're saving that for the next Spider-Man. Some of the things they started doing, that dirty stuff in Halo, where they will give you allude to something and you're like, oh, really? We're not going to do that in this one? Oh, maybe next time they'll do one. And I didn't like that they started doing that in Gears and Halo in the stories where they're like, oh, something's happening over there. Oh, we're not going to fight Cortana in this. Oh, no. Oh, so we're not going there now. That I got to wait for that. And look, it wound up never happening, actually. And in this Spider-Man, they did this like this. Dude, this is a complete open and shut, but they opened up so much for the next one, but you feel satisfied on what you played already. And and they didn't skimp out on the whole Venom. I thought the Venom thing, I thought it was going to be kind of like, the way it was going. I'm like, well, when's he coming? When's it, like, and realizing that there was so much more after he showed up, and so another, like, it was like another game. It was like another game.
Yeah.
So it was incredible. And I just thought about how people are getting that. And insane and incredible.
Yep.
And another game, I don't know if you played. Did you play Mario Wonder?
Yeah, I got it.
Dude, isn't that incredible?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, there are geniuses over there in what they do in level design. Who comes up with this stuff?
Yeah.
These characters, like every level has a new character with a new gameplay element. Like, it's such a hook. Like, it's not like fighting grunts and brutes for a decade. It's like every level has a new enemy with some new friggin' gameplay element, puzzle element that you got to try to overcome, and it looks incredible.
Yep.
I can't believe they got that stuff run.
They did a really, you know what? They did a really good job with that game. No surprising. They did a really good job.
It reminds me so much of the Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3. Like they really, and then they even have all those extra costumes and stuff in there. Like I thought it was just going to be the elephant costume and that was it. Which elephant's all right.
Yeah.
But they got some crazy costumes. I'm almost finished. I have 2 more bosses to fight. But that's a little. I don't like how Nintendo does that though. Like I don't like how they keep the same dude. Yeah. Anyway, I'm like, why are they doing that? Like, come on, man. You got the whole friggin' Bowser family. Let's go. You know, they could have been a little more creative with their boss fights, but their level design is absolutely incredible. That's the only critique there. One thing I wanted to talk about, J-Dub, did you see this whole Wolverine thing possibly leak that the guy removed the imaging for possibly Wolverine for next year?
2024, yeah.
Oh,
I did see that. I did see that.
What do you think that? You really think that Insomniac could pull that kind of magic out?
I mean, if there's anybody who could do it, it would be them. I mean, just look at their pedigree. I mean, these guys
talk about acquisitions. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. Like, considering, because the way it went down, there was a guy who leaked a couple of places. I'm trying to find where that tweet was, where he leaked a couple of PlayStation. What did he do? He leaked a couple of PlayStation images. Here it is here, and it was listed here. I'm showing it here. It was listed
with a date of 2024.
Yeah, with a date of 2024. Concept artist Volta, Keyword Studio, and they had Marvel Wolverine there. It was 2024. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin was in there, and then they threw that in there 2020. And then they also have Studio Bend, unannounced project game / Bend Studio concept artist Volta 2025. It says there too. So, dude, if that's... I can see that.
I take that as, like, right now, it's November. I can see that game dropping next November, the end of the year. I can see that because it's Insomniac. They're known for fucking... Yeah, they're known for just cranking out games all the times. I mean, how many games did they release this generation? I mean,
is it the Ratchet team? I know it's different teams.
Yeah.
They're alternating teams. Like there was the Spider-Man team, and I don't know. Maybe it would come in the Ratchet team. What? I can't believe it.
Allegedly they have a Daredevil. That's the third IP that they have that they're working on.
Daredevil one? Holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh my god! All I'm gonna say is they are the superhero game studio. Anybody else is goddamn Times Square superheroes. That's the thing. Yeah. Like anybody who touches superheroes right now is friggin' the ones you go take pictures with at Times Square. Insomniac is the superhero studio because they tell a game, like they tell a story. Like they don't just give you the tropes of the character, and just go running around the city. Like there is depth there. They add so many elements there. You could tell that they're very meticulous and appreciate and very. They don't want to screw the pooch in the sense of like messing up with the comic books interpretation of certain things. They'll put their own twist on it, but they approach it with such care and such, and what I loved, and again, I don't want to spoil Spider-Man stuff, but the way they integrated characters that if you didn't read the comics, it just works in the game. Like the way the abilities that you get and the characters that you meet and the enemies that you meet, it works in their world, and it actually is somewhat parallel to what happens in some of the comics. So it's loosely, it's based on the comic stuff. It's just in their world, it happens a different way, maybe with a different character, maybe in a different method. And they just did it. Incredible. Game Night 5, with the 5, he goes, You have to remember they filmed the mocap for Wolverine last year, so 2024 is a huge possibility. Dude, Wolverine comes out next year, and think about it, when's the new Daredevil Wolverine movie coming out? I know it's not tied into that stuff, but when's that? That's next year too. Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 next year. There's a Wolverine in there.
Yeah. It is. Now here's the thing. I want clearly like this year we had the was it Across the Spider-Verse or something like that?
Yes.
That came out. And then Spider-Man game came out. Even though they weren't tied together, it just really kind of put people were still hyped about that, right? And then you had the Spider-Man 2 game to come out. It just keeps people talking about Spider-Man, and that's just the way things going. They just confirmed today that they're starting back filming with the Last of Us 2 TV show. Now that
I saw that.
Now that the strike and all that stuff is over, and so we can expect next year, potentially early 2025, to get the Last of Us season 2 kicked off, and I'm expecting Naughty Dog's either The Last of Us 3 or whatever IP that they have could launch in. So I get to see a lot of this stuff with it comes with time, and even if it launches in the same year, it's just being around that same conversation, that same.
You're my number one customer.
Helps push sales even more and awareness.
Yeah, no, definitely, and no, it's funny you mentioned about Last of Us too, and even a whole category at the Game Awards, Sony in that one, Last of Us 2, Twisted Metal, and what is it? There's a whole bunch of. It was the other one. Mario Brothers was in there, so they even got what is it? The best adaptability. What are they called? The
the accessibility.
The best adaptation. Here it is. I got them right here. The
for Sony,
for Sony. Even this one, like
Twisted Metal, The Last of Us,
Gran Turismo,
Last movie.
Of Us,
I mean,
Twisted Metal, 3 Sony IPs as movies. Mario movie and Castlevania, like they even hitting it there, like they created this adaptability thing because, and I bet you Last of Us. I think Last of Us should win. It's gonna be tossed up between Last of Us and Mario movie. I didn't see Gran Turismo yet. I gotta see that. I thought Twisted Metal was really good too. I liked how they did that, but not on the level of Last of Us. Last of Us was friggin'. That reminded me of back in the day of like you got to sit down on a Sunday night, like old school HBO style,
watch,
and watch it. Yeah, like that Last of Us and the way they did that, man. I wanted more of that. But Mario might win it too. That Mario movie was incredible. That Mario movie was great. That was, yeah. I'd say between those two. Last of Us and Mario toss up. But I know a lot of people like the Mario movie. The Twisted Metal I thought was good. Nowhere on the level of Last of Us and Super Mario on another level. But Twisted Metal I thought was really good. But if you look at this. PlayStation Productions, Sony Pictures. PlayStation Productions, HBO. Nintendo Universal. Now Nintendo and Sony are doing the Zelda movie. And then PlayStation Productions, Twisted Metal. They even got this too. Like it's quality. It's quality, and that's where with this whole this talk that we were talking about in the last couple of weeks about games as a service and the pivot, which I think is pretty damn funny, Jay. Like the fact that at first when Sony was saying they're doing the games as a service, everybody was like, they're following Microsoft. That's what they need to do. That's the future. They need to do it. And then all of a sudden now they're like, nah, we're pulling back on that. We're gonna do more quality and delay some stuff. We're trying to bring it back to what we do well and not get lost in this whole games as a service, especially seeing how much gas has failed and how many projects are just getting canceled and just closing down shop. Why are we going to throw a bunch of gas service games out there that are really may only do that? And now it's always about the quality. And now everybody's like, Sony's pivoting. No, the thing is that Sony's not following everything as games as a service. Because look at what has happened with Halo Infinite. Look at what's happened with Forza the service game. It's less than what it used to be. We don't want Sony to do that with there, and they are going the other way. They're like, no, quality is what's selling, and that's the point, J-Dub. It's like, even what Matt Piscatella was saying, subscription gaming, service gaming, all that stuff is taking a back seat to just high-production, $70 games. Didn't they tell you a couple years ago that was going to be the death of Sony, asking for more money to the payers?
Yep.
And what happened? People are seeing through the cracks. They're seeing that just because you're paying a recurring payment doesn't mean you're getting quality. It's quantity of just wasteful stuff.
Yep. I think it comes back to everything we've said has been coming true.
Yeah.
And yeah,
you can't deny quality. That's the thing. Like if you give a quality product, people will pay for it. I know that in the Xbox camp, it's blasphemy to say something is worth something. Everything has to be value and budget gaming and McDonald's McNuggets. And it has to be cheap ass gaming. Then why are you buying 20,000 controllers if it's so cheap ass gaming? You only need one controller. You don't need 30 colors. All right, and we don't need a goddamn Willy Wonka goddamn chocolate Xbox either. So cut it out with it's excessive. This whole cheap ass gaming. It's so expensive nowadays for the kids and stuff. Yeah, we need more of this. Golden controllers and friggin' edible controllers so you can eat the thing and shit it out. That's, we don't need 20,000 controllers. It's about quality. And exactly, you show me a product, why is it worth the price? I will give you that money and I will take it and enjoy and say, hey, that was worth the price. I spent whatever on Spider-Man. I bought the special edition and all that stuff, and I look at it, I'm like, that was worth every friggin' penny. I just go into the game and start swinging around and just doing stuff, getting that platinum and stuff. Because it's such an engaging world, there's so much going on. It's worth it. I don't need cheap-ass gaming. There's a time for, to be cheap, but there's a time to spend, There's a time to say, hey, kids, you could go camp in the garage, and there's a time to say, you know what? We're going to goddamn Disney World, kids. There's a time and place for saving some money, and there's a time and place for spending. But when all you're doing is talking about cheap-ass gaming and playing on phones and playing on all this trash and getting cheap-ass stuff. Oh, sorry, JWS connection. All this stuff. Enough is enough. Everything can't be cheap all the time, especially when you're asking $300 or $500 for a console. And then what? Go cheap on the games? Huh? What are we doing? There you go. Why not? An edible controller. Why not? Now you shit it out. There you go. Booty enjoys it. Xbox partner with Wonka. Oopa Loopa. Where's Booty Oopa Loopa? Ah, damn Booty Oopa. No, I didn't play the new Gran Turismo update, Iggy. I did not play that yet. Oh, I got to drag Jada back up again. Here we go. I don't know what the hell's going on. Here we go. There you go. Back in there. You pre-ordered that edible controller?
Oh,
how do you win this thing?
Listen, is that not the most embarrassing thing? On the same day that you end up with not a single nomination for Game of the Year,
read the room.
You release more fucking controllers, but this time it's a goddamn chocolate controller. Come on, man. This is something tells me these guys are not taking gaming seriously.
They're not. I don't. They're not. They're not taking games here. They think they're just so. I told you, they remind me of the cool dads. They're just these weird guys, hey, man, I'm the cool dad. Look, I'm cool. I know about Willy Wonka. I know about Fortnite. What about that Fortnite? I'm playing that Fortnite. I'm going to own you, pwn you. They're the cool dads. Shut up, Greenberg. You're not here. You're not cool dad. You're 70 years old. Get out of here. Don't act like the cool dads. Hey, I play games. I know about that gat. Let's go about that gat. Get out of here. I got the lingo down. I'm gonna pwnage you and I'm sweating now. I'm sweating ball. Get the stop it, Greenberg. You're not here. Stop talking to 20-year-olds like you goddamn the cool dads. Oh, we got the Willy Wonka. We're relevant. Look at us. And that's what they remind me of. They remind me of these they gotta be there and just be there where they don't belong. Go make some goddamn quality games. Get out of the Willy Wonka house. Don't make no goddamn chocolate controllers. And go make some friggin' great games. If you just, what did he say? If you just make great games, things will turn around. No, but let's give a chocolate controller with fucking Willy Wonka, and that's going to turn things around, Phil.
To be fair, Phil did say that it's that gamers say, "Well, just make great games and people will come," and he's like, "That's not the case." And maybe he is telling the truth. Maybe it's not the case that they make great games. So therefore,
he made it not the case.
Why? Of course, he made it not the case. So, but I'm saying that's his excuse on not making great games. So we're sitting up here asking for him to make great games, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not going to make great games. It don't matter if I make great games. What I'm going to make is some goddamn duds, and I'm going to throw them shits in Game Pass, and you're going to like them, and you're going to enjoy them. It is what it is."
I know.
Or else I'll close this shit down. That's his motto.
2027 can't come fast enough.
Would you chip that? What you just played?
There you go. I know. It's just so. It's just, I got another clip of Phil Spencer here about talking about great games. Right? They got all the flavors. Oh shit! Team Ambush says they got all the flavors. I got another clip from that interview here, where they talk. This guy grills Phil about the gameplay of Fable. Let's hear about Phil Ness. Let's hear this video here.
On. That is, I don't know if that's something that people pay attention to.
Tina Summerford is our producer.
Perfect length each time. So
is it weird that we're you're in this business of putting on these shows for us as well as making games?
That must be
you're showman and
I feel like we actually do. We're here.
It's booty.
And that's okay, right? I mean, we've really, I think, got to cook up we cook everything.
Is it weird though that it's still?
What's really important? I think at Xbox, I don't mind the scrutiny and kind of publisher for us in gaming. So about our dates this time, always trying to get better.
Oh, here it is.
Sea of Thieves update or something like that.
I love the discussion, just like a little bit behind the scenes on Flight Sim. So one of the things we do in the show is we're trying to think what things do we put dates on. We obviously had our 12, everything you're going to see is going to ship in the last 12 months.
Sorry, I took it on the chin.
And they didn't all ship in the next 12 months.
Limited 12.
So we said, let's be a little bit smarter about our dates this time. Always trying to get better.
There's a lot of Hollow Knight fans out there that are very upset.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, and they're not all the games.
I've heard about that. That's not you.
But it kind of is. Like, we set the context for the show. But anyway, the Flight Sim discussion was funny because we're sitting there, we're saying, we know it's next year. And then we're like, well, do we put 2024? Like, it's called Flight Sim 2024. So, team, if you're going to name the game Flight Sim 2024, you don't get to be 25.
You got to put out Flight Sim TBC.
That's right. So I said we just need every team to name their game with the year and the name. Maybe that will help.
Put him into one.
I think, we haven't actually talked about the whole press conference.
I noticed that.
I would like to get onto that before it gets too far. But, we talked about it in various our own corners and together, and you guys haven't seen much of the response to it, so it's worth us talking about it as well. I personally thought that it was one of the best press conferences that you guys have done in a long time, not only because the content was there, but also, we talked about this earlier, the pacing was really good. Really well done.
All right.
That is, I don't know if that's
ass
something that
now
people
give them
pay
Tina
attention to.
Summerford is our producer of our
Tina,
show. Tina,
you killed it. Because also,
awesome.
it was Sarah at the start, and then there was a kind of mid, there was a little bit of Forza, and then you came in at the end, and in between it was trailer after trailer, and even though some of those trailers weren't hitting for me, I never disengaged because it was the perfect length each time. So
is it weird that we're you're in this business of putting on these shows for us as well as making games?
That must be
you're showman and you have to produce commercials for us to entertain gamers.
But that's why we mentioned Tina. Because we don't.
An expert.
We don't. We have Tina, Greenberg. Obviously, Aaron plays a big role in getting the show. Our PR teams and our marketing teams. I don't know I don't feel like we actually do. We're responsible for the show, but
I'm trying to figure out what they do.
Even we plug into a structure at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
they set up in a process.
What do we do here?
Teams have got to show up with the goods, but even then, I will say, there have been times when we've looked at a trailer and just said it's tough on the team, but we say it's not going to be in this year, and let's either save it for next year or think about another beat during the year, and that's okay, right? I mean, we've really, I think, got to a point where they've set up a lot of good beats for us. We've learned different places to show stuff, and sometimes we make a call.
Where's
That's
this
not
thing
just
about
the raw material.
no booty?
And
Only
we got hands on the controller.
That's right.
Yeah.
But today.
Here it is. Is this
It's
it?
the raw material.
Booty.
Yes, that back.
I'm talking.
But yes, you are right. Like until our customers
That's
have
right. The
games in
customers
hands,
have
like,
to play the
that's
game.
What's really important. I think at Xbox,
There it is.
we continue to have to earn the trust.
Yeah.
And we're still and we've been in the business 20 years, but relative to the other console players, we're still the newcomers there. And I don't mind.
He thinks he's still the newcomers. Relative to the other console players, that they're still the newcomers. Is this dude asking 22 years later, they're still the newcomers in the console space? Jada.
Dude, this and that. Listen,
He's still a newcomer. He's just learning.
this shit doesn't make any sense,
learning.
man. Like, it really doesn't make any sense. Microsoft has been in the console space for the last 24 years. You're going on 30 years. PlayStation only had one generation ahead, right? Just one. That was like 5 years. Okay, they've been in the space 5 extra years, but you've had 24 going on 25 years to get this shit right. If you don't know what you're doing by now, it's a wrap. I mean, all you had to do is just follow. All they had to do was just follow the plan that Peter Moore put together, because they were very successful during his tenure, doing the 360, level, and call it a day. But
360? Did you hear them saying we're new here? Dude, they were getting GTA 4,
They were fighting.
the Battle of Gay Tony, and all these. They were taking tattoos on Peter Moore's arms.
They were biting fucking Sony at that time.
Yeah. Were they talking about we're new?
They would. Yep.
We're just
not
learning.
now. All of a sudden, we're new at. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Dude,
Listen,
when they said Connect was out there, were they saying that we're new? Well, we're just trying to do. No, they went Bolsa will Dance Central. They got Usher dancing on the friggin' stage. Then were they saying like we're just learning? You can't go back. Like you can't do 4 generations. You're right, and come back and go. We're still learning. No, what learning? What are you talking about?
there are a bunch of suits with a bunch of morons for fanboys that don't buy games, don't support games, and but that doesn't translate over to the majority. I think the majority have spoken of gamers. Remember Phil Spencer? They spent a whole year talking about the access to 3 billion gamers.
Right.
Well, and you only have, I mean, technically there's only like 21 million of them that actually fucking went out and bought your goddamn console, and most of them aren't even fucking subscribed to Game Pass, because majority of Game Pass subscribers are on PC.
Right. Well, that's what they're trying to do to carry everything. Is like but trust me, if they never leached onto that PC audience, they really would have been in oblivion.
They'll be screwed. They'd really be screwed.
They're trying to grab onto that PC audience as much as they can to try to compensate for what they lost on Xbox and what they lost to PlayStation and Nintendo. And then the fact is like they can only hold that PC audience is not your audience, Xbox. Like they're trying to make them Xbox. They're trying to, you guys on PC and they're Steam fans, dude. They would not come to your Microsoft Xbox store. They're from Steam, and because you put their games on Steam, they actually will give you a pat on the back and say, okay, welcome here. But if you don't go to Steam, they weren't coming to you. They're not Xbox. They're not Xbox. You can call them whatever the hell you want, just like you was calling last week, PlayStation and Sony of Xbox users, some bullshit like that. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to smoke, go ahead. But like in the reality of it, it's the same thing, J-Dub. It's like them saying like, oh well, Sony's in trouble, Microsoft's in first place. It's like, what world do you live in? If you want to live in this friggin' this alternate reality where you think they're fine, they're not fine. Look at the results. Look at the sales. Look at what's selling. Look at what's winning. Look what's getting nominated. What's getting recognized by the industry. Look what's getting celebrated. Look what gamers are playing. Now, gamers weren't watching the goddamn Law and Order. Goddamn Phil Spencer on the stands. We were watching it for entertainment to find out what the hell, and we got to see the real, true goddamn emails from Phil Ness showing that it's not all great and rosy behind those doors. That's where the entertainment was. But gamers weren't watching that for games. Like, nobody gives a shit about Phil Spencer in court. Like, people playing games don't. Like, that's the thing. Nobody really cared about that stuff. We watch it as entertainment for us. But, like, you don't ask anybody, like, shopping for games over at Best Buy or, like, you know, shopping for games. Like, hey, you hear about the Law and Order that's going on? Dun, dun. Like, you know, get the... But wait, this goes on and on. I just wanted to get to the part where he talks about Fable, where he challenges the guy saying, "What makes you think that wasn't gameplay?" I was like, "Oh, wait, let's see if that continues."
Behind the scrutiny and kind of,
and just remember, this interview here, I think, happened right after. Was this after Redfall or before Redfall? Let's see. When was this? This was 4 months ago. When was their showcase after did Redfall release before the showcase or after the showcase? I think it released before the showcase.
I think it was before. Yeah.
Take it easy on the new guys, Ryan says. Yeah, take it easy.
Bar that I think we're held to. And I know for the Xbox Nation, maybe it's because we're part of a big multinational Microsoft. People like the whole "are we in or out of gaming" comes up every so often. Is this make or break, which some people say, and which isn't true. Like we have so much. The company's getting ready to spend $70 billion buying a publisher for us in gaming. So there's a ton of support. But I also know that the Xbox fans, they, as you said, they want to see us compete. They want to see us do well. And I'd say the flip side of that scrutiny and the questions are when things like today happen, and we get to walk out on stage and just feel the kind of love, really, of the community and the fans, and see it online. It's awesome.
Do you prefer doing the kind of closed set stuff compared to, Galen Center, cars on stage, Keanu Reeves
I love
coming
the live
out?
shows. It bums me out. Like we show up, we can play on a video. Like
enough
people wanted to see that are now there now, and you put like
here it is. Is it
2024 on there? So you've
there
kind
it is.
of
I think this is
amped people up now. What is your strategy now going forward to make sure that you maintain that momentum? Because obviously there is. My thought is now we won't see Fable again for months, and we still haven't seen any gameplay for it. Like that trailer was fantastic, really good tone piece, and I really enjoyed what was shown there.
Why
but
didn't you think it was gameplay?
As in an actual run
this
through
happened with
of
Hellblade 2, right? Where it's like, it's like gameplay trailer. Not today. The last of the first time. Everyone's like, is this really gameplay? I thought there was like cinematics.
There's sections of it, like the giant. But as
I guess we could try to break down.
Put a HUD on
as in
there.
something akin to the Starfield, where it's like, here's what it's like to play. Here's a mechanical breakdown for the meat and potatoes that gamers want to see, so they have a good grasp of what they can look forward to.
Yeah, it's hard in these presentations for us to
they're explaining what gameplay is to Phil Spencer.
Playing a game and we like that connection.
What made you think it was a game?
There was one moment where it's like clearly it's behind the back, they're running away from the big giant, and I'm like, that looks like gameplay. But I think a lot of people will take it away as like, mostly it was this cinematic
experience.
Yeah, so a few things on that. First, I think it gets a little bit to what Phil talks about just earning trust. I think one of the things as we earn trust is that we can be a little
because
more
his fan base has told him
Booty's trying to save this thing, like earning trust. Remember, this is after Redfall, after Phil took it on the chin and said,
I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. Just focused more on great games on our console.
After he took it on the chin. Now they're scrambling to explain why Fable wasn't gameplay. It's like, what makes you think that gameplay? Yeah, Jada, what were you saying?
Like, listen, Phil, here's the thing. I know he's an executive. I know he's a suit. I know some people want to say he's a gamer. So
if you explain gameplay to him.
I'm not a fucking moron. I know what gameplay is versus a damn cinematic that's not being controlled by a controller, that's not going to look like that on my goddamn Series S or X. Like, come on, Phil. It doesn't take a fucking we've been here before, right? We've been here before with Halo. We've been here before with Gears. We've been here before with Forza. You just had the same shit with Forza with Digital Foundry coming out saying, why would you guys show this stuff looking like that when it's not even capable of doing that on the PC? Why? Like, Phil is not a dumb man, but in this place, he's playing fucking crazy. I don't want to say the R word, but he's playing fucking crazy. Like he don't know. That man isn't fucking stupid. He knows that game is not looking like that, and it's not running on the goddamn Series X or the S. When they can't get basic games to even run on the consoles, like Baldur's Gate 3. Like, what are we doing here?
Exactly. And you being a great example with the Forza stuff, like how they showed Forza in-engine and all this other stuff up until its release when it didn't even match what they showed. And even Digital Foundry was like, guys, what they marketed and showed was not what they released. It's not even that on PC.
It's not even capable of running.
It's not
like
even
that
capable.
on PC.
And then to see, even when you're saying if it's running on a PC, look at what it's not even running on the lowest setting on PC on the Series X. It's like lower than low. It's not even the low setting on PC. So telling that Fable stuff was, what makes you think that wasn't gameplay? And it looks like, and then they're trying to like fuddle around. Jeff Grubb, doing his Mankind impression, going to damn Dude Love. He's like, oh, I tell you with my hand. He's kind of going in there with his friggin' goddamn what's his name, Dude Love over there, trying to explain his ass, going like, well, the camera's behind the guy, and it looks like we're playing it, and that's gameplay, but the cinematic, and they're like all like fumbling around, and Phil's like, oh, what do you mean the gameplay? And now Booty's coming in, chiming with his guy. 2 cents. Booty, nobody wants to give a shit what you have to say, because this is all they hear. That's all that comes out of a Booty. It's not bullshit. That's what it is. Now Booty's talking, and they keep talking about what's so funny, trust. Meanwhile, they're lying right to your goddamn face. What do you mean that wasn't gameplay? What do you mean? Just like the Forza wasn't gameplay. What do you mean? You got Sacco. That's right, Richard Farmer, Sacco. Like, and now Booty's talking about trust. Wait, you just had Phil Spencer. Look at the clueless Phil Spencer. Look at the clueless dude. Look at him. He's like, Booty, get me out of this one. Booty's like, I got you. Like, this is like, look at this. And then what happens is, this is what happens every year. We'll see the gameplay of Fable when it releases. Obviously, the guy's right. We'll never see it again. Maybe we'll see it at the Game Awards. And when it comes out, it's not going to look like that trailer. We've been through this before. We've been through this. Now here's Booty. Let's see a Booty trying to clap his cheeks.
How and when we announce things, because I think that's a big part of managing expectations, is we don't want to announce a game and then go dark for 4 years, right? So we would like to, when we get to the point when we announce a game, that we feel confident enough about the progress the team is making that we get into, if we show up here, that means next year we're here with this gameplay demo, and then we launch sometime that year. That'd be a great cadence to get into, right? I will say, because I've been thinking about this a lot, as I look ahead to 2024, everything that we're going to ship, I've seen builds of, like very recently, or played them, or I've said this before, there's so much stuff on Fable that I get with Alan. I'm like, why did you show this and this and this? No, because there's a lot of cool stuff in that game, right, that I'm excited about. As I think ahead, even as we get into 2025, we've seen builds of games at the Initiative. We've seen, I know just because they're there in Seattle, what's going on with State of Decay 3. Like, we've seen these things. So as I look ahead to the next 18 months in terms of what we're going to be able to show and deliver and do that kind of gameplay,
do this game next year.
Thing.
Yeah.
The gameplay thing, like you're talking about, like show the gameplay. It's like, yeah, Booty, like I'm glad you've seen it. Like, we've seen builds of these games. It's like, dude, like you've seen builds of, that's your goddamn job. Like, so I'm glad you've seen it. Where is it for us to see? And tell me that the guy who's making Fable is telling you to calm down. J-Dub, the guy who's making the game is telling Booty, oh, Booty, I don't want to show it, Booty. I don't want to show it. Booty's like, no, show it. Here's a cup of coffee. Show it. And they got, no, Booty, I don't want to show. Bullshit. They probably want to show everything, but there's too many bugs. Like, you're telling me that the guy who's making the game is telling you he doesn't want to show it. Don't you think it should be the other way around? The developer should want to show it all, right? He should be more excited to show the world. He saw bills of Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark announced goddamn 3 years ago. 4 years. When was the Perfect Dark announced? 3 years ago? He's seen builds of it. I'm sure, what's his name? Drew Murray saw a goddamn build of it too, right before he left and got to Insomniac. Holy shit. Yo, J-Dub left. Oh my goodness. I'm talking to goddamn thing. I'm talking to J-Dub. He's not here. Yeah, thanks, J-Dub, for coming on, man. I didn't know if he got disconnected or not. But do you believe this thing? I've seen builds of games. Please. Yeah, I can smell it from here. I smell it from here. And I like it. He points to Dude Love. He's like, that gameplay that you're talking about. Like, watch.
So as I look ahead to the next 18 months in terms of what we're going to be able to show and deliver and do that kind of gameplay.
Look at Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer looks like he's learning this all for the. Dude, look at Phil Spencer's face. It looks like he's like, Booty, this is good. This is good stuff. Like, I'm learning so. But Phil Spencer looks clueless.
We can do that thing.
Yeah.
That thing. Look, dude, this is hilarious.
We've seen builds of
that thing,
gameplay. Initiative. We've seen, I know just because they're there in Seattle, what's going on with State of Decay 3. Like, we've seen these things. So as I look ahead to the next 18 months in terms of what we're going to be able to show and deliver and do that kind of gameplay, we can do that thing.
Yeah.
Do that thing.
You know, I'm cautiously confident, right? Because the teams are hard at work and they
cautiously confident. He said what he could show in the next 18 months. Well, everybody, this was 5 months ago, so we got 12 months left. Booty, this was. He's talking about the next 18 months. Booty, we're 5 months in. You got 12 months left. You got 12 months left. That's it. Phil's learned.
Get that's kind of the bar now, which is, look, let's show it, you know, let's like show up.
Like, yeah, we'll show it. It was like, did you see my flute performance at the Game Awards? Dude, they have no clue. It's like an upstart. They have no, like, watching this. This is no clue.
Gameplay and
feels like, yeah, we'll show it. Yeah, maybe at the Game Awards we'll show it.
In terms of what we're going to be able to show and deliver and do that kind of gameplay, we can do
next
that
year.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm cautiously confident, right? Because the teams are hard at work and they get that's kind of the bar now, which is, look, let's show it, you know, let's like show up with gameplay and let's do a deeper dive when we show up.
When it comes to this year, Starfield is the big thing. Today we confirmed it's 4K 30 on console. Do you guys feel like gamers got used to 60 frames per second? That's going to be
goddamn traveling friggin' circus. Goddamn traveling circus.
I've been playing Starfield since November.
All right, you don't gotta brag about that.
No, it's not a brag. It's not a brag. But and the gameplay's great. And at some point, not to get all geeky about it, but there's render time per frame, and teams can either want it like go horizontal or go kind of deep on a frame. And I think it's a creative choice. We obviously have games that are running at 4K 60 on the platform. It's not a platform issue. It's a creative decision.
Halo 120.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I think
whoa.
trust
Phil Ness, hold the
BGS
phone. What did he just say?
Horizontal or go kind of deep
talking
on
about
the frame. And I think it's a creative choice. We obviously have games that are running at 4K 60 on the platform. It's not a platform issue. It's a creative decision.
Halo 120.
Yeah, and I think
Booty going Halo 120.
BGS,
oh my god,
the decisions they make, and I trust what I'm playing. And we handed the controller on a console to people here, and had them play. Done the same thing with Forza, and I don't ever want us to turn playing games into a math exercise.
Yeah.
That as players we say, hey, if the song doesn't have this number of tracks or the game, and I'm not saying that 60 or resolution don't impact what you play, but I don't think we want that to turn into an Excel thing. Right. I think you want to give the creatives the tools to make the best decisions, and the game will be what.
Oh my god, the bullshit's coming off my screen. I can't, this guy, come.
You heard me right. Con men, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals.
Would you ship that? What you just played?
We ain't found shit. Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Let's go!
Right?
Yes! Yes!
Oh my god.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, grinders. My goodness. Just shut up, right? Shut up! Stop it! Just shut up. Do I have that thing? It's just like
Put that cookie down now. Game over.
Just shut up! Like, oh my god.
But I hope you leave enough room for my fist, because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine!
Do you hear the circus? Do you hear the, like, yeah, we'll ship it, we'll put that thing, like what you said, gameplay, that thing by over the shoulder, the Mankind, is that what you want to do to love? Like, seriously. Seriously, you hear the song and dance? Oh, it's a creative decision, 4K30. It was a creative decision on Redfall. They took it on the chin. And then look, all this rigmarole, and look what he got. Game Awards. Look what we got. Look, where's Phil? Where's his representation there? Because it's all bull. Sitting there, legs. Go make some goddamn quality games. Stop taking it on the chin. And go out there and make sure these games are worth the damn. You could say Sony didn't release that many games, but what they did it with quality. That's why they get recognized, and that's why they are where they are. It's quality, you son of a bitch. You could sit here and say, I seen builds. Booty, clap that ass. I know you looked over their shoulders when you handed them the macchiato. You know it's there. I played build. Dude, that's your friggin' job. Obviously, I don't give a shit if you played builds. You haven't shown it to us worth a damn. And now we're questioning your gameplay. You've duped us with Starfield and loading screens. Phil said he played it. I played it. It's a creative decision. Phil, did you forget to mention the 20,000 fucking loading screens that you got going on there? Oh, you forgot to talk about that, right? But snipe anybody that shows that. Booties, I've seen builds. What build did you see? The Forza build that had the ray tracing that never made it to the games? Like, who cares? That's your goddamn job. You've seen nobody's questioning Herman Holtz. Herman, did you see builds? Did you see builds, Herman Holtz? I don't give a shit what Herman Holtz said. It's what they're showing that I'm gonna buy. But you hear all this talk and excuse. Look. Game night with Phil Spencer on Giant Bomb. And where's he now? He's going to be putting the wig on, playing the goddamn flute. And he's going to show some more in-engine bullshit at the Game Awards to say, look at me, I'm making games. Is he going to show more Avowed? Is that going to shake the world, Phil? Come on. Like, oh, we're new here and all the... Get the hell out of here. All talk. Yap, 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 yap. All talk and no show. There you go. And look at where they are, the Game Awards. And now they're like, the Xbox tax, everything. Nobody likes Xbox. Nobody likes them. Why? Did you listen to that? Did you see what Forza was shown as and what it released as? Did you see all the loading screens? Were they transparent with you because you love him because he's so transparent? Was he transparent to show you the exploration in Starfield? He played it. Did he show you all the loading screens? Did he show you the empty planets? Phil played it. Where's their transparency there? Where's their transparency with showing the incorrect ray tracing for Forza? And that game running like trash, unoptimized trash on PC. Can't get the game to run worth the damn. And running lower than low PC spec on Xbox. And you have the balls to talk about an Xbox tax, why people don't like... They don't like them because they're lying sons of bitches and business coats that want to sell you door-to-door Game Pass bullshit. That's why nobody likes them, because they're all talking no show. They're the person that says, I'm going to be there, I promise, and never shows up. I hear you. I'm going to deliver. I'm sorry. I'll learn. We're learning. I take it on the chin. But you heard me. You shook my hand. You looked me in the face and said, at the rooftop party, you were going to deliver. Boom. And then you proceed. I played Redfall. We flew people out early in March to play Redfall. How the hell did it release in the state that it did to get 60 frames a second 5 to 6 months later? And wonder why Xbox just doesn't get the raw end of the deal. Why is that? Because they're lying sons of bitches that talk too much and don't deliver quality to the consumer. That's why. You can make up whatever name you want. Xbox tax, whatever the hell you want to talk about it. I'll tell you right now what the Xbox tax is right now. When I hear Xbox tax and, oh, woe is me, this is what it is.
Oh no! We suck again!
That's all you hear.
Do not be sorry. Be better.
Yeah. Everybody just doesn't like it. Uh-huh. No, it's because they lied to you. They're telling you that they're listening to you and don't listen. They talk too much. Remember when Starfield, that Starfield not being there, listen how big Starfield was for them.
Starfield. The Xbox Game Showcase, followed by a deep dive into one of the most important RPGs ever made. Starfield. The Xbox Game Showcase, followed by a deep dive into one of the most important RPGs ever made. Starfield.
Not the most anticipated, not the most fun, not the most hyped up game, the most important. Important? Don't you think that's a weird choice of words? The most important game for who?
The Xbox Game Showcase, followed by a deep dive into one of the most important RPGs ever made.
The most important?
Starfield. The Xbox Game Showcase.
That don't sound very fun. Does that sound fun as a gamer? We got over 300. We have 300 gamers in here. It's very important. Does that sound like family meeting? Does that sound like some shit's gonna go down? Does that make you want to pick up the controller and play? The most important RPG. Well, the most important RPG didn't even make in a contender for Game of the Year or anything else. Except they became as a placeholder for RPGs because they needed a fifth slot. But don't you think that's a weird word?
Followed by a deep dive into one of the most important RPGs ever made.
That don't sound fun. That sounds very business. Why? Is you spent $7 billion on it and it's important to hit? I don't know. Sounds very interesting. Choice of words. It doesn't sound very exciting at a gaming showcase to say the most important RPGs. Important. Here's our good friend Mr. Paul Tassi on Starfield. Starfield Landing, just one nomination, Best RPG, which it will lose to Baldur's Gate, isn't good. Even if it was outside of Microsoft ownership, an enormous mainline Bethesda game performing like that is kind of unheard of. And I think they have a lot of work to do. Oh, man. Gosh! Oh, Scooby-Doo! We got a lot of work to do now, Shaggy. We got a lot of work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. There we go. Xbox tax.
Oh no! We suck again!
Oh, man. Yeah. Tax. There they are. And then there's Xbox trying to spin it goddamn spin-a-rooney, Booker T style. Nominations. There's 11 of them that you can play in Game Pass. Please. Please.
Oh, and second us too. Games are coming back.
11 games. 12 Game Pass. Please, somebody subscribe. Please.
They're all on Game Pass.
Don't believe me.
Like a Requiem. What to play first and what to play last.
Play the ground as Party Animal. Party Animal. You can play the Game Pass. Like, it's just so friggin' pathetic. It is just so friggin' pathetic. Goddamn, Matt Piscatella. This Xbox tax. He goes like this. He goes, Xbox tax. Have you all lost your minds? What a what a day of discourse. The Xbox tax. Oh man. I'm surprised we don't have the Florian governor over here talking about taxes. You know what? Why wouldn't they call it an Xbox tax? All they talked about were government relations for the goddamn last year and a half. Government's on their mind. Regulatory agencies. Why not? We got an Xbox tax. They're taxing the $7 billion.
What are you?
Why not? It was shit in the courtrooms for the goddamn whole year. Why not call it a tax? A tax increase.
It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw. Come on.
Yes, chef.
An Xbox tax. Jesus. And this is what they want. They cared so much about this. Like this. It's just, and you want to know what's crazy? Is that it's not an even, it's not, ZX has been trashing people all day. Like, it's not even because they just want Starfield there to get rid of this X. That's it. They just want to stop this narrative that Xbox does not have a Game of the Year contender since 2013. A nomination. They just want this to stop. And that's the thing. Then they could go on their podcast and they could say, well, there is another narrative that's canceled from the ponies. Listen, you care more about what friggin' Sony fans say and not look at this as why? Why? Phil's saying he's been wanting to do better since he came in at 2013. I hear you. I want to do better. You deserve better. Since he walked in the doors in 2013, I want Xbox to be better. He's been lying to your ass. You just heard him just 5 months ago. Lying to your face again. And this has been going on for all this and say that this is an Xbox problem. Look at Nintendo. Look at Sony. Was Sony complaining in 2014? Nintendo had nothing in 2016 and 2018. And look at this. What's crazy? It's not even, they're multiple in years. There's multiples. Multiples. You don't even have one. Not even one. But that, he hasn't done shit. And tell me what game over since 2013 from Xbox first party even was snubbed and deserved to be there and wasn't because it was an Xbox game. Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Halo Infinite, Player's Choice or Player's Voice Award for a game that the multiplayer was, that the single player wasn't even ready and they voted it in before they even played it. Crackdown 3, Gears 5. What games? What games were snubbed that needed to be there? And if you forget, Grinders, if you forget, this has been so desperate. Now it's called an Xbox tax. This has been so desperate. Did you remember last year? They wanted Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon to be part of the Game of the Year award. And they said Forza was snubbed and needed to be. And when they're like, when is a racer a Game of the Year contender? There is a racing category for Forza. Do you remember that Forza was snubbed last year? They wanted Forza. That's how bad they wanted this to stop. Because it matters so much what PlayStation fans think about this when this is a fact. This is not a fan-made Cobra kind of kiss Microsoft's ass chart. This is a fact. Microsoft has not putting out quality goddamn games that set the industry on fire. Starfield before was game of the generation. It needed to hit, and it needed to hit hard. It needed to hit like Baldur's Gate. It needed to hit like how Spider-Man hit. Everybody loved it. You must play this game. FOMO to the T. And it didn't. It was loading screens and Bethesda. That's what it was. And it wasn't even as good as the Fallout. They were saying at least it's better than 76. But last year, remember how desperate. I don't understand what it is. I don't understand how, like, it's just, like, where is it? Was it this? Forza should be in Game of the Year VGAs. They were fighting that why Forza was not in the Game Awards. Where is it? They wanted Horizon. They wanted Horizon. Where is it? 2021, because 2022 they had nothing. Here. Throwback. You want to see something entertaining? Hit the freaking like button, everybody. Hit that like button. Remember this? Forza was the highest rated game. Forza Horizon 5 was the highest rated game in 2021, and they called it a VGA's Game of the Year snub. They deleted the post. They deleted the post, but I remember the videos. Oh, Forza needs to be in there. Here it is. Oh, here it was. Bootleg Jez. Why not? Why not? The Game Awards snub of Forza Horizon 5 is a disservice to the entire gaming industry. Hit me with the horns, 20. A marketing event and nothing more. Bootleg Jez. He wanted Forza Horizon in the Game of the Year nomination. Goddamn bootlegs. He had to break it down. They used the jury panel. The jury. We have to use the jury panel. I found out that the Game Awards uses a jury panel consisting of media. He was getting the scoop. Bootleg Jez had to be in there going, Jeff Keighley's Awards, there's something going on in here. I'm going to find it out. I'm a sleuth. I'm going to find it out. He goes, he's like, the Game Awards uses a jury panel consisting of influencers and outlets and colleagues at Games Radar. The nominees are for the top accolades. They also cast votes on who wins the awards, with a mere 10% of the vote weight to the public. You know, people who actually play and buy games. Oh, damn, pause. He's going to... If I wasn't questioning the Game Awards candidacy for becoming the Oscars, I certainly am now, after seeing them snub the top-rated game of 21, Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon 5. Snubbing Forza is a mistake. This is how desperate it was. 2 years ago. This is how desperate it was. This. The one game that Microsoft released, Forza Horizon, was a good game. But remember, now we play it now, and everybody's like, oh, it's just a new map. They were fighting for this thing to be in the friggin' Game of the Year contender, a racing game. Because of a Metacritic score. If there was a year, first off, if there was a year a racing game deserved to be nominated, 21 was exactly it. Forza may not be a cinematic tearjerker, but it's no worth being nominated. This is the game that enjoys a position of the top 21 Metacritic Metascores. It won Best Racer, dude, because it's a friggin' racing game. A whole rant article. The Game Awards jury failed. They were scraping. Last year they had nothing to say. Last year because they had no games. But last year there's like Microsoft releases one game, like that game has to be the best game of the year. That game has to win Game Awards. That has to be best racer because it was one friggin' game that Microsoft released. The one game. Do you believe this, right? They were complaining that Forza Horizon was snubbed. Not saying it's a bad game, but Game of the Year for a racing game? And when? And look at that. He got called out by the member of Game Awards. I received a flurry of information from members of the Game Awards jury as well as game developers, which adds some important additional context. Jeff Keighley stated that Forza Horizon 5 was indeed eligible for this year's awards, but the cutoff date was November 19th. However, the journalists were told he was going the whole conspiracy. You believe this? The cutoff dates. It would have won. Oh. Please. Cry me a goddamn river. This is what it's about now. Listen, if Spider-Man wasn't in the Game Awards, you'll be like, oh shit, it didn't win. Okay, whatever. Like, but they are holding on to this so much and so desperate. And the search for W is all they get around. Like, you got a decent game. Forza Horizon 5 was a good game. It doesn't have to be Game of the Year. They were so desperate. And now watch, next year they're going to be like, well, Call of Duty should be Game of the Year. Ah, Xbox tax. What are we doing here? Stop. Get some help. Cut it out. It's a friggin' awards show. All right? But my God, we don't need to put round pegs in square holes here. But they were going crazy 2 years ago. And now, Starfield's Xbox. What are we doing here? And because it's on the title screen, 3 years of review, we kind of recapped it here. 3 years review. Has the power of the Xbox been demonstrated? We'll go over the PlayStation market results, but I think I might do that in a quick another video. But the 3-year review, since it's on the title. Listen. What do we do? Returnal got snubbed, right? An X-Tax shirt. You want an X-Tax shirt? In the Gaming Grindhouse shop? Maybe I'll make an X-Tax shirt. Xbox tax shirt. Goddamn, have the Florian guy signing the CMA documents. Xbox tax. No tax. Taxation without representation. It's crazy, everybody. But guess what? It's been 3 years, right? PlayStation is now almost at 50 million consoles. And with the Spider-Man bundle, dude, it's coming. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here. We got their financials. We'll go over those. But I just wanted to kind of an overall year in review because we had JW, the stream got canceled. But I just want to go like the overall year in review here. Like 3 years in, what have we gotten? PlayStation has delivered. And if you look, Portal reviews have come out. There's so much to cover, man. I had so much in here. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to do some more. And that's the other thing. I'm gonna be trying to do more just focus videos over the week, so you get more bites, because that's what the bites are supposed to be. The grind bites. They're supposed to be shorter videos of just things. And I'm gonna do more of them. So like what I did last night, I'm gonna try to do more of them. I'll try. Some will be live. Some will be recorded with premieres. So I'll be in the chat and things like that. But I want to get more here. And more content out and not having to do like 5-hour epic shows. Kind of do some short ones as well. So like, you don't have the time to sit there and listen to like a 3-hour show with timestamps. But I'm going to do those, the Gaming Grindhouse. But I'm going to be doing also Grinds Bites, which will be the shorter ones. But I will do some live. I am getting the Portal later on Wednesday, so I'll probably do some stuff. See, Mr. Tennis, you like those? Those focus videos, too much info. Exactly. So like, take a topic from here. Probably the market share, talking about that, my thoughts on that. And then, the Portal will do that as well. But the Portal reviews have been pretty good. IGN, just reviewed the Portal for an 8, saying for now it's a great device that represents the best current solution for remote play. Baffling caveats such as the no Bluetooth and there's an airplane mode on it, which is weird. I don't know why you would do that unless they plan on doing something more with this, which I think they are. I think this is just an initial step. But I think the price is right for what it is, to control. And I want to see some of its functionality if you can control the PlayStation, which you probably can, be a input one device on that. But it's getting great reviews, and the screen is pretty great, and the controller works really well. And like I said, this will be the best ergonomic handheld in the sense. And CNET already took this on a review and hooked it up to his phone and played it over high Wi-Fi hotspot. And it's just a more ergonomic way to play games rather than putting strap-ons on and stuff. Plus, the biggest thing is that it gives you all the sense of the DualSense. And that's the one thing that all the streaming stuff from the Lenovo thing, from the Asus Ally, from the Steam Deck, you don't get the haptics of it. So Well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what it is. The only things that I've been a little like skeptical about is the latency. Like you said, Gamer of Light, like it doesn't seem that it has any kind of proprietary chip type thing in it where it's giving you a better direct connection to your PlayStation over a phone or another device. That's what I'm going to really try to hone in on when I get it in hand. I want to see if it has like a better connection to the PlayStation 5, whether it's Wi-Fi direct or there's better an IP communication somewhat that's giving you a better, less latent connection to the PlayStation over a phone or over other device. But it is clean and it is sharp looking, and I think the aesthetics of it's going to be the most ergonomic because it's really a controller, and that's what a lot of people have been saying. And let's see what they do with it. But I will be getting one, trying it out, seeing. Keeping it, we'll determine what it is, because I do have other devices to do this, and I do see the benefits sometimes, like hanging out with the kids upstairs. Like I don't have to go to my game room and like isolate everything and say it's game time, leave me alone. I could kind of hang out there, grind some trophies, do some games, maybe play some of the indie games, the small games, and do that while I'm still interacting with the family and not kind of totally out of it. The buds are getting great reviews too. I pre-ordered those PlayStation buds. They will be on their way as well, so I'll give a kind of my take on that. I'm a big audio nut with headphones and stuff, so I have those on their way as well. So keep it locked here to the Gaming Grindhouse for reviews on the PlayStation Portal and also the Explorer headphones. Even though I want the big ones, I did pre-order the buds because I wanted to try those out, because I'm really interested in planar earbuds, and I hear from early reviews that they're really good. So I want to definitely compare them to other gaming headphones that I have, headsets and earbuds too, because I want to hear that as well. But because I'm always a sucker for headphones, and I got the Sony W5, so I pre-ordered those, and their buds sound great. So if they have planar drivers, I think they might be really damn good for gaming on that one. So keep it locked here. I'll do live. We'll do definitely the streams on that stuff as well. And then where's the other thing that I had here? Which was the other thing I wanted to talk about? What's the we did the Wolverine stuff. Let me see. Yeah, so the 3-year review, like, I'll go into probably depth in another video here, but the 3-year review, like, really, we kind of talked about it over the thing with just how our Xbox really hasn't still delivered what they promised on the Series X and the quality there. And I can't believe, even with Forza Motorsport, how it didn't even deliver in the sense of graphical fidelity on the console, where that Forza engine usually is the best on a console, which again, it didn't jive with it. Very weird, lower than low on all that stuff. So really strange. They still haven't lived on the promises of that. Do they announce a new console next year, a discless Xbox Series X? Who knows? But I think in the 3-year review, the Xbox is still trying to figure it out. Still trying to figure it out. Like, what games? They launched with no game. No games at all. Goddamn Flying Bird game in the 3 years. And then followed up with Halo that's still, it's now the multiplayer has some stuff in it. But, like, the game wasn't what it needed to be to move the console. Nobody remembers Halo's launch. That was a disaster. 3 years of Xbox, and we got Craig. That's what we got. And we got acquisitions. We got them in courtrooms trying to figure it out. Crackdown 3s. And we didn't Crackdown 3, like, all this stuff. Cloud gaming and all this other stuff. Did it amount to anything? No. And then you look and you see, and again, people could complain what they want, but look at what Sony has done hardware-wise in the 3 years. Dude, they released a VR system, which, by the way, somebody wanted me to talk about the VR column, which we'll do the nomination votes, and we'll do that live. I'll do that as a show as well. But, just to kind of jump into here, quickly, the VR, like, look at this. Like, the VR category, you have Meta out there, which I do love the Meta Quest as well. Meta Quest 3 is freaking awesome, that as well. But the fidelity and full polish of quality VR experiences, like high-level stuff, look at what's been in the Game Awards. Gran Turismo, Horizon Call of the Mountain, another Sony exclusive game for the year. Another Sony exclusive here, Resident Evil Village, Synapse, Humanity. These are all PlayStation games. They were all on the PSVR. So that had a very successful year, and the fact that there's no meta kind of game in here. Like, there's tons of games on meta, but look at the VR games of quality. Again, quality is selling, and the fidelity of it. And I really hope they embrace it even more so next year and come out with even more VR exclusives and VR experiences on there, because I love it. But quality sells, and quality's moving VR. And you look at what they're doing, and you look at this stuff, and where's my, the Portal comes out on Wednesday. The Buds coming out next month. Then there's the other ones. This is just the hardware and a redesign of the console already with swappable, with a removable disk drive. So you look at what they're releasing hardware-wise, like, this has been a busy-ass 3 years, dude. And this is on top of the games of Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon Call of the Mountain, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, GT7, Miles Morales, Demon Souls, Ratchet and Clank. What was the other game? Then you got your remasters. Then you also have Returnal. And look at their track record over 3 years. Like, the Horizon and that was all surprised too. I'm surprised that the Horizon Forbidden West, the Burning Shores DLC didn't get anything, because that DLC was absolutely incredible. And I do think they should probably add a category for like best DLC or best expansion to games. I don't know if I saw that on the Game Awards. I don't even think he had that. Like, they don't have best expansion. I think they just have like ongoing game. They don't have like best DLC, best expansion. Nah. Because that Horizon DLC was friggin' incredible. That was an experience. So you look at it, and then on top of that, just from there, if that was their first party that I listed in the last 2 years, God of War DLC might be coming, yeah. And then on top of that, what they did with the controller, and you're already seeing advertise about what the uniqueness of how they implemented the controller, which everybody said nobody was going to use it. Remember, nobody's going to use the controller features. They thought it was like the rumble triggers that nobody used it except Forza on Xbox. But no, Sony, everybody, they're using it. And they're using it as a way to entice people to say why you should play it on PlayStation. So that's why I said, when people saying like, oh, Sony's doing bad, no, they're not. And if they are doing bad, I don't care, because guess what? We're doing great. As a consumer, we have tons of games. We have VR options. Microsoft didn't want to do VR. Xbox didn't want to do VR. Just because they're opening up their wallets doesn't mean it's good for us, because they opened up their wallets for Ninja and Shroud. Did that save Mixer? No, it didn't. They opened up their wallets for Kinect technology and bought it. Did that save Xbox? No, it didn't. Just because they opened their wallets and bought two big-ass publishers, did it save them from getting recognition at award shows and make them on the map and be better? No, it didn't. They got a lot of work to do now. And like what J-Dub was saying with Call of Duty's in a bind, in a grind right now. This is not the best foot to lean on when you're trying to say Activision is part of us and we're starting with Call of Duty this year. No, this is not the one you want to. This is not your best foot forward. This is a demise of Call of Duty, Call of Booty. So you're going to have to get out of this now. You just inherited a dud this year, and now you're going to have to now work on making sure next year is better. Ouch. Who needs that? And that's on top of all the other pressure you had with Perfect Dark needing perfect help. Fable, gameplay or not, who knows? State of Decay, check out your build, booty. State of Decay 3, you showed a CGI of it 3 years ago. Everwild, ever who? We keep going and going. Ever who? Where are they? I don't know. Where is it? Compulsion Games showed a CGI. Oh, that's game. What? When's that coming? Who the hell knows? They announced stuff 4 or 5 years ago that we still haven't even seen to this day. Saving it for next gen. We're 3 years into this generation and we still haven't played those games. So saying just because they spent money means that they're winning, they're not. And I said this before, the way they acted, look at what this deal was. Ubisoft owns the cloud, more people to play games. Like, look at the divestiture and what had to happen for them to get Call of Duty. Was it worth it? Was it worth it for Blizzard King? Are you playing Candy Crush now? Excited that there may be a Microsoft logo on it? Doesn't matter. Is that really a win? Is it really a thing that's going to change? Does it really matter? Like I see people, Call of Duty. Listen, if the tables were turned and Call of Duty was incredible this year, you would have seen the same people that went into hiding right now touting this as an Xbox incredible Xbox exclusive game. They will be celebrating Call of Duty. They don't even play it. They'll be like, oh my God, Call of Duty, top seller, is the best. What a deal. I don't get it. I don't get how that does anything for a gamer. Xbox lost its entire identity. It did. And the games that made its identity are the ones that Microsoft looked the other way and just let it fall flat. Forza and Halo. That's it. Let them go. Gears, yeah. Kate's story. Who? Why? JD, what happened? Oh, no, it's all done. They're supposed to have Gears movies and books and all that other stuff. Well, Rod Ferguson left. Now he went after Diablo. And Diablo 4 is another headache and a half. But what? So, I just think you can't buy yourself way into relevancy. You could change the game and change the name and make it look like you own it and all this other stuff and go through hoops saying, oh, well, people will play on PlayStation or gamers and I'll play Xbox game. You could do whatever the hell you want. But in reality, you're irrelevant still. You try to buy relevancy. And again, I don't think there's anything in your wheelhouse that has the level of hype as Starfield. Yeah, BVM on the East Coast. I don't think so. Hellblade 2, I'm excited for it. I want to play that game. I loved it. Hellblade. If Hellblade 2 is more of Hellblade 1, fine. But, is it Game of the Year? Maybe. I don't know. They still haven't shown gameplay of it. They keep showing mocap and makeup and actors, which Melina's fine. But, geez, enough. Booty said he's seen builds. Show it. Because remember, borrowed time's up. And Sony, you've been lucky that Sony's been quiet in the sense of not blowing the roof off of showing stuff. But they start showing Wolverine and Studio Ben's game and a new PlayStation next year with new hardware and more power. Eee. I need the Price is Right music. Dun, 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 dun. So, we will see, Grinders. But this has been an epic Gaming Grindhouse show. And I want to thank J-Dubs and Link for coming on the show. Thanks. Sorry for the tech issues. But stay tuned because hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be more content coming your way. I'm going to be doing more Portal stuff. I'm going to be doing some more breakdowns. We'll talk about the market share. I want us to talk some things on that. And more stuff. Hey, man, we have a grand old time here. It's a fun time, man. We joke, we laugh, and you know what? Why not show this right before we go? Phil Spencer's new job, everybody. Here it is. He's on TV right now. Go tune in.
Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer!
He got a 6.9 Phil Ness review.
Yes! Yes!
He's moving to Home and Gardens. He's moving to Home and Gardens, everybody. Phil Spencer, Secret Agent. Channel 4. 9 seasons of Phil Ness. IMDb of a 6.9 Phil Ness score. Property expert Phil Spencer is a secret agent on a mission to get British property market moving again, one house at a time. I think they're going to do a show with Phil Spencer, secret agent, working with Jim Ryan and helping him move out. It's real, ladies and gentlemen. It is real. A TV show, Phil Spencer, secret agent. It aired in 9/6/2015. You think I was going to let you go that easy? You think I'm going to let you go, Phil Spencer, double agent, secret agent, double agent. Keep it green, home and gardens. Holy Spirit activate. Oh, my goodness. Phil Spencer, he's all over the friggin' place.
Spencer!
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy
Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer!
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. His series has ended. He's at the real estate now. He's secret agent Phil Ness. He handed his traditional 6.9. Let's read the reviews. Let's read Phil Spencer's reviews on his TV show, Home and Gardens. Let's read it. Let's see. Do they have the plot summary here? Phil Spencer travels around the UK helping property vendors. Maybe you'll see them. Vendors who have been previously unable to sell their houses. So he's going to help Jim Ryan relocate. There he is. There he is peeking around the corners. And you can tell, there he is, Phil Spencer, secret agent. We're gonna have to do this. I'll put his face on there. Will the real Phil Spencer please stand up?
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hit that like button, grinders. Who brings you this quality? Quality content. Quality. It's real. What do you think? I don't lie. I don't have no Xbox tax fake Phil Ness. This is real. I give you more real shit than Phil Spencer himself. I'm not joking. This is it. Maybe we'll stream a show and watch it together. Phil Spencer, secret agent. He ran from 2011 to 2015, home and garden expert, helping Jim Ryan move out. Edit his face. I will be editing his face. Phil Spencer's going right there. Let's see. Oh, man. Look at the titles of his shows. Dorking. Pinner. Bristol. I guess these are places in Manchester, Leeds. Oh, he's traveling the world. These are all the places he did interviews. But look at the rating of it. Dude, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. Thank you for subscribing, Daniel. Thank you. The real Phil Spencer. Dude, you can't make the IMDb rating. Please. Yellow. You can't. Sold. He's like, when you sell your house, he gives you a year of Game Pass. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna sweeten the deal a little bit here. I'm gonna sweeten the deal. All right, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. You know what? I can make the deal a little sweet for you. How about if I throw a year of Game Pass? Well, who's that? It's a service that I provide here, Phil Spencer. I'm a secret. You buy this house right now, we'll throw in a year of Game Pass. How's that? This show's a 69. Robin says there's a one called Wakefield. Oh, shit.
Hold on. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
That's right, Ryan. Phil Spencer comes in, he goes, you know what? How about I just tell you, don't buy this house. Subscribe. I'll give you a great service here. You give me a good $3,000 a month. I'll let you live here for a little bit. Make sure that the bathroom, the water runs. You should rent. Phil Spencer, rent houses. The jokes write themselves. Brought to you by Game Pass. Well, grinders, have a great night. Thank you again. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. This is the Gaming Grindhouse. We bring it with the quality stuff. So keep those Grindhouse fires burning. And we are out at Phil Spencer, Secret Agent, brought to you by Game Pass. There we go. Good night, everybody. Thank you again.
12 minutes and Hades, and they're all on Game Pass. Some of them are like a Requiem. What to play first?